How do you actually get set up to hit the baseball off of the tee? This is going to be the most boring video that you watch inside of this series, because I guarantee inside of your mind you're thinking that this is the only video you do not need help with, you do not need to watch. Let me prove you wrong, please. So when we get set up, there's a few different main things that we want to look for. A lot of times for the youth baseball player, we strictly get set up to hit up the ball off of the tee based off of where we stand at home plate. So if I'm the type of batter that goes based off of the back corner of the plate, I don't care if the ball is up there, I am still going to get set up here. If I'm the type of batter where my front foot gets set up at the front of home plate, I don't care that the baseball is set up there, I'm still going to swing from here. What we need to do and understand, especially for hitting the baseball off of the tee, is we do not get set up to hit the ball off of the tee based off of where we stand for home plate. We get set up to hit the ball off of the tee based off of the tee itself. So what does that look like? There's two main things that we need to factor in. The first thing that we need to look at is starting from the back, or starting from reverse, is where does my stride take place? Do you have a big stride? Do you have no stride? Or do you have a small stride? So if you are somebody that takes a bigger stride, I want you to go ahead, whatever your swing is, you go ahead, you take that step, and we want to analyze, where is my foot? Your foot, at very least, should be even, right? Even with the tee. If I were to draw a line straight past the ball, going to the side, my foot should be there, or slightly past. Again, this is for a tee that is set up straight down the middle. So when I go ahead and take my stride, if I go ahead and step, and I haven't even reached that line yet, that means that I need to shift my feet forward. Okay, so again, when we take our stride, that foot should either be at or slightly past that ball, so that I am hitting the baseball off of my front hip. The common thing that happens is some guys will take no stride, so they'll start real wide, they'll start back here, they lift up their foot, they put it right down, or they just go back, and now from here, I'm extending to get to the baseball. Okay, so once we understand where our foot lands, now we can start with our stance or our setup. So if I am somebody that takes no stride, a small stride, I'm not going to be here, because then again, I'm going to be turning and trying to reach or trying to push my hands to the baseball. If I'm somebody that takes no stride, I am not going to be starting from back here. So let's keep it as simple as possible. If you are somebody that takes no stride or a very small stride, you should be starting with your foot right behind or even with the tee, because now I can be in my wide stance, I can go back, and now I can turn and drive the baseball without pushing my hands or without rotating my hands around the baseball. For the second thing, if you are somebody that takes a small stride, then you're probably going to want to start either 6 inches or so, depending on your swing, behind the tee. This way, when I do take my small stride, that's for me, I take a fairly small stride, now I can get stepped up, plant that toe, and now I can drive my back foot and my hands in to be able to hit the baseball up the middle. If you're somebody that takes a big stride, so usually if you're taking a big stride, you have a little bit of a shorter setup stance, you're either here or you're a little bit open. Now I'm starting significantly behind the tee. So many times I'll see kids that start closed, start short, they're set up where they would be on home plate, they go to take their stride, and next thing you know, that ball is too deep, so they are not extending their hands through, or they're overturning to try to maximize that or counteract that and being able to get their barrel to the baseball. The next thing that I want to share, and probably the most important thing, is I want to change your perspective about the tee. So many kids, I think especially at the youth level, we get to the point where we rush through the tee. We view it too much as a warm-up and not enough intention behind it. So instead of us really taking this serious, the coach or your parent or yourself, you'll put the ball on, you'll drop the ball on the tee, you'll get set for a split second, and then next thing you know, you're jumping back into it without taking a deep breath, without feeling yourself getting into your stance, without, for me, when I'm hitting off the tee, I like to feel my back knee kind of being slightly pushed forward, because then it helps me drive forward and get that motion going through the baseball. So my perspective shift for you, this is the big highlight moment of this video, is for the tee. This is an opportunity for you to get to learn how to use your body. Now, what I mean by that is you get to become your own coach. You get to be able to help yourself. So for me, when I'm getting set up, if I am wrapping around this baseball, everything is going to be hit to that left side. So a lot of times what I do as my course correction is I allow myself to think more about my back foot or my back knee driving forward, and next thing you know, I'm gradually taking the ball from the left side of the cage to back up the middle. So this proves to be an opportunity for a young player to start to understand how he is using his body, or for different feels. So if I am pulling my head off, my hands or my barrel tend to drop. Next thing you know, you're breaking the tee, the ball's just popping up, the tee's falling over. It is a good opportunity for me to get to be able to make corrections and start to rotate more with the barrel, and next thing you know, I'm making adjustments. So what this happens when we take this into front toss or into a game or into overhand BP, whatever it might be, is now I can start to see, hey, I'm getting a lot of foul balls, right? Wrapping where that ball is just spinning off to the side, or hey, I'm pushing a lot of baseballs lightly to the right side. Well, now if I'm pushing a lot of baseballs to the right side and I'm on a tee, that's probably going to come from me getting my foot down, drifting forward. Now my hands lag behind, I can't get the barrel out, and now I'm shooting the ball into the camera. Well, now that's probably the same approach. That means that you're probably not being patient enough, and now in the game, you have a pitcher that's maybe throwing decent speed, whatever it might be, slower, you're getting super anxious, you're loading, you're starting to drift forward, and now you're starting to be a little bit weaker. So now you're starting to notice some weak pop-ups, you're starting to notice some weak ground balls to the right side. What do? I think about my moments on the tee where I was doing that the last week, 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, and now I start to think about that my next at bat, and I hit a double into the left center gap because I stopped going forward and I allowed myself to just turn behind the baseball and get the barrel out in front of me. So again, don't just view the tee as a warm-up. Don't just view it as a, getting my swings in or being able to take the same swing. The goal is to master the swing, right? I want to be able to, if this baseball is not moving, I want to get to a point where I could hit the ball in the same spot, right? If you do an overlap of 7 different swings and the ball's in the same spot, it should almost look like it's the same swing just 7 times. But a lot of times when you have a youth baseball player, you have somebody that doesn't take the tee serious, you'll take swing number 1, your feet are here, swing number 2, your feet are here, swing number 3, there's a slight open, swing number 4, your hands are pushing, swing number 5, you're doing so much to go between your different swings, and you continue to struggle. We need to build the habit, build the habit, build the habit. And then when we can start to build a habit and create a stronger swing, now in front toss, instead of me just trying to get contact, now I'm able to actually drive the baseball because I'm taking the same swing. Instead of me being early and thinking, hey, I just got to push more with my hands, now I have the mindset of, hey, just let that ball get to my front hip, and now I can take my normal swing. Okay, so those are the main highlights of this. Again, we are talking about a tee or a setup directly down the middle out in front of the plate. If you are somebody that is struggling with the setup, remove the home plate and have your son or have yourself get set up based off of where the actual tee is. Make it a challenge. Hey, we're not going on to the next video until we can get 10 baseballs up the middle of the cage. Okay, so again, this is a goal of mastering the tee. We are not here, I don't want you going through this course or these videos, watching one video, not implementing it, and then going to the next one. Let's get very, very good. I don't care if you're somebody that already works with me one-on-one, or if you're somebody that is just brand new to me. I want to challenge you to be able to hit the ball straight up the middle every single time, because that's where we want to drive this baseball. We don't want the pitcher throwing it right down the middle, us missing our spot and hitting a weak pop-up, right? Or hitting a weak ground ball, which I like to call running for your life, okay? So the tee is set up. I'm in my stance. I'm looking forward. I'm getting to my load, boom, and I'm turning directly behind this baseball, getting squared through. I should have some extension in my arms. I'm driving that barrel. If I go, a lot of young kids, they go back like they're swinging, they turn their arms, but they leave their back legs. We need to make sure that even if we are lining up to the baseball, everything is going. And now I just speed it up, right? Now I just speed it up. Right up the middle, okay? You guys have heard me talking for 5-10 minutes. I feel very, very, very confident being able to step up to the tee. If your son is not confident stepping up to the tee, or if you were not confident on being able to hit the baseball off the tee, no wonder why you don't want to do it. And as you get older, right, and you're in the game, and now you're struggling in the game, it's going to be the same thing. Become super, super confident here, and I promise you, everything else will improve because you can do the basics, because you can do the boring stuff, and because you can master the fundamentals. If you have any questions, comment them down below. Keep filing through this, go through the other, training videos, and please let me know what you are struggling with. I am here to help you.